Well, hello everybody and welcome back to Geordieland 1892. Well, Newcastle United yesterday did very well, in my opinion. It was a narrow victory, but a deserved one, in my opinion. Newcastle needed to win yesterday. They had to keep in touch with any sort of race when it comes to European spots. Now, Newcastle hadn't actually won a game since the 15th of January, apart from those semi-finals against Southampton. But in the Premier League, we hadn't actually won a game since January, 15th of January, where we beat Fulham. We nicked it at the end. Alexander Isak scoring in the 89th minute to nick that one away from Fulham. They did play very well that day, actually. But since then, you know, it's been draw, and then loss and loss. Obviously, we won't talk about the cup final, but it was Crystal Palace we drew against. We drew against West Ham at home, and then we also drew against Bournemouth. Liverpool came to town and they beat us 2-0. The Carabao Cup final, obviously, and then we went down to the Etihad to play Manchester City and we lost 2-0 there. Now, to be fair, the game against Liverpool, we were down to 10 men, and I'll tell you what, I thought we did pretty well against Liverpool, to be fair, with 10 men. And we did create chances. We did carve out chances in the Liverpool game. We did carve out chances in that Man City game. We could have been back in it. We could have been back in it if we'd been more clinical. And you know, chances were there, they were begging, we just couldn't put them in the back of the net. But yesterday, back to winning ways, and that's exactly what we did, and we scored 2. We did concede 1, but we did score 2. Now, there had been a lot of talk, and there has been for weeks, basically saying that everybody wanted Alexander Isak to start. Eddie Howe had been saying that the striker was not 100% fit, he couldn't play 90 minutes. Yeah, we get that, but we wanted him to start. Anyway, he did yesterday, and what a game he had yesterday. I mean, not just because he scored. I thought his runs, I thought he just oozes class, that kid. And, you know, we've definitely got something there. We definitely have something there. He opened the scoring on 26 minutes, and Fabian Schär, who was back after nursing a concussion, he was back in the squad. He won the free kick that led up to that goal, and Trippier whips in an absolutely fantastic ball, doesn't he? Puts it straight on Isak's noggin, and I tell you what, he makes no mistake, it's a bullet, it's an absolute bullet. And you know, the goalkeeper, Sarr, for Wolves, didn't stand a chance. He took it beautifully. What a great goal that was for Isak, and a massive confidence booster for him and for the team. Now, kind of prior to that goal, we all thought for a second it was going to be deja vu again. Nick Pope, back pass, and he just kind of strayed. He let a little bit too much of the ball show, didn't he? And Raul Jimenez, he basically went for that ball. Nick Pope, I suppose, in a way, I thought Jimenez made a bit of a theatrical dive to the floor, to be fair. But, you know, the way refereeing has been going, the way VAR has been going at times, my heart stopped. I honestly thought that they were going to give a red card, and I thought they were going to give a penalty for a few seconds anyway. Obviously, later on, when I did see that, Andrew Madley did make the right decision, in my opinion. I don't think he caught him at all, and yeah, a lot of people are saying he got away with it. I don't think he got away with anything. I think really Jimenez was searching, hunting for a penalty, but it was a bit scary, wasn't it? But like I say, you know, the video assistant referee, Tony Harrington, he also had a good look at it, and he said no foul, so thank God for that. Phew. But you know, Newcastle, I thought, were very, very good yesterday. I think we should be proud of them. They bounced back at St James's Park. They did what we asked of them, really. Obviously, just after that is our goal. Trippier again involved, taking a corner, which Dan Burn, he overshoots it, and Dan Burn manages to keep that in brilliantly, and it skips right out onto the head of Bruno Guimaraes, who clatters the bar with power. Was a shame that, I mean, if that had gone in, I think we would have probably finished them off in some style. I think it might have escalated the score by quite a bit. I think it would have been a bit of a nail in their coffin. But, you know, not long after that, you know, they reminded us they were there. They're not a bad team, Wolves, you know. They've done all right, you know. They've beaten your Liverpool's 3-0 not that long back. They're fighters. They're not a bad side, and I don't think they deserve to be where they are in the division at the moment, to be fair. Yeah, they are. They're fighters. And like I say, Wolves continue to sound off warning shots, you know what I mean? Daniel Podence, I mean, it's like a shot, he jinked in, gets a shot in, and it was a grass-cutting shot that hit the post, bounced out. I thought we were at 6s and 7s in the second half, the very start of the second half. We came out, and I think we had to basically wake ourselves up a little bit. We were kind of all over the place for the first part. That's my only criticism, really, of yesterday. Obviously, it was one of those games where, I mean, Jacob Murphy, where Nelson Semedo's foul on Jacob Murphy, I think he should have been off. A lot of people say he was last man, but probably it was the positioning of the pitch which made it a yellow card instead of a red. He was kind of out on the side there. Was he going to be able to cut across fast enough across? I don't know. I'd have to. I hope somebody in the comments can clear that one up to me. At the time, I was shouting red card, but somebody did tell me after that it wasn't a clear-cut chance. I had a look at it, and you know, with the speed, he could have cut across, and it could have been a chance. So there you go. But like I say, our mistake letting them back into the game was, unfortunately, Trippier had a fantastic game yesterday, but his clearance, he slipped. What can you do? He slipped. The ground gave way, he slipped, and he couldn't clear it. If he hadn't slipped, that ball would have been into the paddock. But, you know, that's just one of those things. And obviously, Hwang just slotted the ball from 6 yards out into the net. It was a bit of a blow. But what we have to really applaud the lads is the heads didn't go down. They kept going, and literally 9 minutes later, obviously Almiron is on the field at this point, and because he didn't start, obviously, and he actually starts this whole move really out on the wing, and he plays this lovely ball to Willock. Willock plays a sublime ball back to Almiron. And, you know, the way he just curls that, pokes that into the net, it's a fantastic goal. It's a worldie. It's a worldie. It really is. And it was great to see us shooting for a change, but what a ball by Willock. He had a great game yesterday. So did Murphy for me. Almiron, he is our top scorer this season, but I tell you what, he took that with class yesterday. And 2-1 up, and you know what it is, we could have been 3-1 up pretty much in the dying minutes. Great ball into Botman, all he had to do was keep it down, and it's a goal, and 3-1, and it would have been deserved, but it kind of goes, he smashed it over the bar really, didn't he? But in the end, like I say, it was a narrow victory for Newcastle United, but a deserved one. And like I've already said, I thought Wolves played really well, and I really don't. I think Wolves are on the right road. I think they're a better team than what their position suggests at the moment. But Newcastle have come through it. 3 points. That means we leapfrogged Liverpool, and because they lost in the early game, didn't they? Bournemouth beating them. The Cherries winning their 1-0. So Liverpool drop down a place and we go into 5th, and 2 games in hand on Tottenham at the minute. It's looking good, and obviously we're off to the City Ground, Nottingham Forest, on Friday night, the last game before the international break, which I think, I don't really like international breaks very much, obviously, but I think it's come at the right time. I think it means that we can regroup. I think a lot of players will get rested, and I think it's a really good thing at this point in the season for us. But like I say, City Ground on Friday night, 8 o'clock kickoff, and I'm not saying it's going to be a pushover. We will be revisiting old friends, Chris Wood and John Joe Shelby, if they're playing. But to be honest, I think we've got to go down there, and I really do think we've got to take the bull by the horns. We've got to go down there. We've got to get 3 points if we're serious about trying to get this Champions League place. Let's try and go for it. But like I say, Alexander Isak yesterday was marvellous. I thought Alan Saint-Maximin was tremendous yesterday. I thought, obviously there was little moments where he frustrates you, but some of his passing and the way he was playing the ball to Isak at times was marvellous. I think that needs to be looked at massively. He seems to link up well with Isak, but I thought he had a great game. I would have liked to have seen them probably rest Burn from the start, maybe bring in Target, but look, at the end of the day, one more game and they are going to get a rest. I do believe they're going to Dubai. So 3 points and back to winning ways, and it feels like forever since we won a game, really, and it feels like forever since those Southampton semi-finals where we won. But in the Premier League, it just feels like forever. And to be honest, it's a couple of months. Like I say, January, Fulham, unbelievable. And you kind of look at what you could have had. If we had gotten points from those games, we would have been high flying now. That's not the way it works. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. But Newcastle did return to glory yesterday, the victory, and I'm over the moon for that. So bring on Nottingham Forest at the weekend. Friday night as well. Better than that bloody early kickoff against Manchester City, 12:30. I think they should be banned, 12:30 kickoffs. They're absolutely insane. It just ruins your day, especially if you go down the pub to watch the blooming match, like you're in there all day, aren't you? I suppose if you're disciplined, that's all right. But no, early kickoffs, no. Friday night kickoff at 8 o'clock, oh, I'm having that. Definitely having that. So anyway, this was Keeper on Geordieland 1892. I hope you're all well. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed yesterday. And I'll be back soon with a bit of chit-chat about Newcastle United. And for the moment, all the best.